The doorbells tinkled as I walked into the coffee shop in Eagle Creek, Wisconsin. I immediately recognized the man I was supposed to meet for lunch. I walked over to his table. Ray?
Crystal?
Yes, you look exactly like your profile. You never know about these blind dates.
Well, I promise you I'm not some kind of weirdo or a stalker. I'm just good old Ray.
Wonderful. What do you recommend?
Yeah, I'm gonna have black coffee.
Do they even serve black coffee here?
I suppose. I've never been in here before.
Oh, Ray, you've got to expand your horizons.
Hi, can I take your order?
Cafe Misto with a dash of nutmeg, and he'll have the same.
Yeah, I guess.
You got it. Coming up.
Hey, eyes on me, cowboy.
Sorry.
So how long have you lived in Eagle Creek?
Born and raised in Eagle Creek.
Really? I was born in Manhattan, Kansas, and I grew up in River Hills, Wisconsin.
River Hills, is that near Milwaukee?
Yeah, just north of Milwaukee. Have you been there?
I drove through there once a while back. Well, anyway, tell me about yourself.
Well, why don't you tell me about yourself first?
Oh, there's not much to say. I finished high school in 1998, spent 2 years in the National Guard, and now my father and I own a hardware store.
And you married Carol Morris.
Yeah, well, Carol, she split the same. How'd you know about her?
Yeah, I got her name for your Facebook profile. She stepped away from you, just like my husband did. My boys are in high school now. We really missed your father.
Oh, yeah.
After high school, I got a law degree from the University of Wisconsin. I worked 15 years as a homicide detective with the Milwaukee Police Department before I opened my own private detective agency.
Is that a fact?
And all those years of looking after thieves and murderers and cheaters comes in handy in my business. Since I was a little girl, I've been interested in keeping track of things. I keep a daily diary.
Interesting.
Yeah, everyone should have a daily journal. You know, this town seems familiar. Camp Sunflower. I went there one year when I was 11 for church camp.
Yeah, Camp Sunshine. That's a few miles down Nixon Pike.
Okay, Camp Sunflower. I remember that name because they told us in chapel that God made the sunflower before he made the sun.
Well, suppose that's true.
I loved my time at Camp Sunflower. So many memories. In fact, I'm not going to say anymore.
Oh, why not?
Oh, because it's embarrassing.
Oh, come on now. Don't hold back.
It's a secret. I shouldn't say anything more.
Oh, come on. There's no need to be afraid. I won't tell anybody. Why won't you tell me your secret?
Because if you heard it, you would think I'm nuts.
Come on, don't hold back.
You promise not to run away?
I'm not gonna run away. I'm staying right here.
Okay. I saw Bigfoot.
Bigfoot?
I sure thought I did until I found out the truth.
What truth?
Well, the truth is, I didn't see Bigfoot. It was some neighborhood kid playing a trick on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I felt so humiliated by the whole thing, and Ray, you look familiar.
Well, yeah, that was me.
That was you? Ugh, you naughty, naughty boy.
I had a monkey suit back then. I liked to play pranks on people.
Oh, well, you got me good. I was terrified.
Oh, sorry.
Water under the bridge, Ray. Water under the bridge. I remember when that camp director made you show me that black monkey suit. I could imagine that it was hot as blazes out there in the woods.
I suppose so. The truth is, I don't remember.
Well, I remember that day vividly because I wrote it all down in my diary.
Interesting.
Here, take a look at my iPad. A few years ago, I was going through some old boxes and I found all the notes from that day. I even made a crayon drawing of the creature I saw. Look at this monster. Ferocious. He has long arms. And pay attention to that log fence. He's fearsome. Notice his red fur?
Well, I really went all out.
Well, you sure did go all out, let me tell you. Let me read you some of my notes. Let's see. Okay, what happened? I was being picked on by 4 girls in my cabin. They were calling me names, saying I was trash and that nobody liked me.
It's terrible.
Well, girls can be really mean at that age. Anyway, we were cleaning the cabin, and one of the girls tripped me with a broom, and I fell flat on my face. They all laughed at me. I wanted to escape from them as fast as possible, so I started running through the woods. The time. It was about 10 a.m., right before we were supposed to go to archery. Do me a favor and remember that time, 10 a.m.?
Okay, 10 a.m.
Thanks, 10 a.m. Okay, so I'm running past the boundaries of the camp, and I'm running on the top of the hillside. I didn't know where I was going, and I tripped on a log. I tumbled down for what seemed to be a mile. Well, actually, it was a couple of 100 yards, so I measured it yesterday. Okay, back to my story. I finally hit a sandy beach next to Mill Creek. I tried to regain my composure, and I looked up across the water, and I saw you.
Does scare you?
Ray, I was horrified. I remember you were kneeling down by the water. You stood up. Oh, I'll never forget your face. You were covered in this long, thick, red hair. You were shocked to see me. You turned around, stepped over a wooden fence, and walked back into the woods. Ray, what was that time that I wanted you to remember?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Very good. I hightailed it back to Camp Sunflower. By that time, the counselors were out looking for me. I came in squealing at the top of my lungs. I've seen Bigfoot! I've seen Bigfoot! The camp nurse caught me and guided me to the infirmary. She tried in vain to convince me that I'd only seen a bear, and I had just gotten scared.
Guess that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. See, the weird thing is, the camp director, Mr. Pigeon, drove off in his truck. He was gone for about 4 hours. When he returned, he had you with him, and that monkey suit. So, let's see, 4 hours. What time would that make it?
2 p.m.? 2:30?
Yeah, 2:30. Okay. Well, yeah, that seems to be right. Hey, do you recall what you were doing that day?
What was I doing that day? I don't really remember. I was 14 years old. Probably shooting basketball or playing on my Nintendo.
So, you weren't working a job?
No, I wasn't working anywhere. I just hung out the house being bored. Every once in a while, I'd put on the monkey suit and try to go out and see if I can spit people.
So you were just hanging out all summer long by yourself, randomly putting on a gorilla costume.
Yeah.
Right, are you sure?
I guess. Why is that important?
Well, I went to the hardware store. I spoke to your father. He says when you were 14 years old, made you work all summer at the hardware store. 5 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh, yeah, I plumb forgot. You know, it's been a few years back.
So you were working all of that afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna ask you something here. Why at 10 a.m. were you 8 miles away from the store dressed in a monkey suit, sailing by Mill Creek?
I was just having fun.
You know what's weird? According to your father, which I verified to your mother, right, you never owned a monkey suit.
I kept it hidden from my parents.
Okay, so you did it. I'll take that answer.
Oh.
What's the matter, Ray? You seem kind of nervous. Your eyes are darting back and forth. Well, on with my memory. It's 1994. You're 14 years old. One day you sneak out of the hardware store at the busiest time of day. You ride your bicycle 8 miles down the road to your house. You pick up your secret monkey suit that you've hidden from your parents. You ride your bicycle through the thick woods. You stop by Mill Creek, hide your bicycle, change into a monkey suit, which by the way was colored black, and you waited there for me to run 3/4 of a mile through the woods on the opposite side of the creek. And finally, after I had tumbled down 200 yards from the hill and landed on the sandy beach, only then did you squatch down, drink water from your hand, stand up, and curiously look at me.
I like to scare people back then.
Why didn't you yell grrr or beat your chest or charge towards me?
Look, Lee, I have to be moving on, okay?
I'm not finished. My husband and I are quarreling about his wandering eyes. Wives, you can relate.
Want to continue?
Ray, you are 6 feet 1 inches tall. You stepped over a fence that was 4 feet tall. How is that possible?
I'm 21, lady. I don't have any money.
I want the truth, but you're not willing to tell it to me yet. Therefore, I will continue. About an hour away from here, on the outskirts of Eau Claire, there's a costume shop. I stopped there yesterday and talked to the owner. They've been in business for 40 years. One of the costumes they rent is a black monkey suit. Obviously, they wouldn't have the same monkey suit from 30 years ago, but they had a similar monkey suit. It was an exact match for the one the camp director showed me, and for which you apologized for wearing that day. The camp director, your mother's brother, lost a battle to cancer in 2008, God rest his soul. He claimed that you were a neighborhood miscreant. None of the kids in the camp would have any reference to know that he was your uncle. You made a false confession, Ray. Everybody had a good laugh at my expense and the whole thing was forgotten about. I, however, have been plagued with nightmares. Not only of seeing the creature that day, but also for the shame I felt for being humiliated in front of everyone for being scared by a dumb prank. So you ready to tell me the truth?
Okay, the truth is, I was working at the hardware store. Uncle Clark came by that day and asked if he could borrow me for a project. He gave me a $20 bill. All I had to do was pretend that I scared you while wearing a monkey suit.
Go on.
After the whole scene, he drove me back to the store. I told Dad that I helped him clean out the garage. I never liked my dad before, and I felt so ashamed, but in time...
One time you forgot about it.
I forgot.
Ray, look at me. It's okay. I forgive you. You were just a kid. Your uncle on Coffin was a decent man. That summer camp was a source of income for him. He needed to protect his reputation. He couldn't afford to have children too frightened to visit. That area was more than just a summer camp. He used it throughout the year for retreats and family reunions and hunting trips. If I was in his place, I might have done the same thing.
He was a good man.
I'm sure he was a good man. There's a bigger issue at stake, Ray. You realize what this means?
I don't know. Kids do dumb pranks. People want it. You did see a Bigfoot that day.
Correct. I did see a Bigfoot that day. According to my research, 7 other people have seen the same creature since 1953. He's tall, has red hair, very shy.
Wait. How can this thing be real?
We don't know.
We?
I and my associates are still perplexed. We've been looking into this phenomenon for a long, long time. Alan, please do not tell anyone of our discussion today.
You got it.
I won't include your name in my report.
This mystery is confusing.
The mystery is confusing, but Ray, the truth is beautiful. I have to run now, Ray. Tell all your friends your date was a dud. And take care of yourself, Ray, okay?
Thank you, Mel.
Too.
Thank you.